Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Tuesday, May 3rd, 2022, a little after 3 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night we'll have a TFCC call at 9 p.m. Eastern, and this Friday we'll have a reverse aging call, health call, 9 p.m. Eastern. Let people see you, feel you, and touch the real you. Simply allow any veils around your self-image and walls around your heart to dissolve completely. Let your radically free, authentic heart shine. Realization of self is realization of God. It is not an experience of God. Rather, it is an understanding that one is God. Realization of the self is realization of God. It is not an experience of God. Rather, it is an understanding that one is God. Sri Ramana Rishi. Everything and everyone is here for your enlightenment. We are all in a grand incubation chamber called humanity that is designed specifically to bring the state of self-realization into our hearts and minds. Every person is a teacher in this mass school, guiding us to finding out our spirit path and discover what it truly means to be enlightened. Every single person, situation, event, and circumstance in our lives today are offering the perfect ingredients necessary for us to get rooted, grow, blossom into our greatest potentiality. We are like baby eggs, each destined to hatch, break free from our ego shell, and enjoy this extremely alive, conscious, and deeply juicy existence. As always, there is nothing, absolutely nothing missing for enlightenment to find its way to you. All your problems, missed opportunities, and challenging life circumstances are the perfect sacred situations deliberately designed to inspire you to build your deepest connection to Source and harness a radical creativity. Without these sacred situations, you would be missing something that is like fertilizer. These essential stinky nutrients that make one deepen, evolve, and grow. Life is perfect just the way it is, and you are perfect just the way you are. And all your desires and attainments, joys and sorrows, securities and insecurities. Life is an enlightenment incubator that cannot be escaped from. We are imprisoned in the destiny to reach enlightenment in this lifetime. We are imprisoned in the destiny to reach enlightenment in this lifetime, the next lifetime, or the next. Your enlightenment is on the divine agenda, the schedule of your soul, and there is nothing you can do to change this. You can try to ignore it, pretend it's not happening, or become distracted by a goal, project that seems to be more important than enlightenment, yet still, over the course of a lifetime, the karmic agenda remains the same. Your soul's destiny will always be to discover what enlightenment is and what it feels like, and what you need to do to let go of to attain it. The most ordinary, typical days of life often contain the most potent aspects of the enlightenment incubation process. Every personal or business conversation, text message, email, Facebook post, YouTube video you experience are the exact fuel you specifically needed in that moment for you to realize your path or greater freedom. Every moment you are alone, listening to your inner voice, being quiet, or simply doing nothing is also the exact fuel needed. Every challenge, argument, confusion, fear, desire, and indecision is also essential fuel for that moment in any direction we turn. We find the perfect enlightening fuel is already there, ready to be used. We are surrounded by perfection. It is only the mind that perceives something else. We are surrounded by perfection. It is only the mind that perceives something else. There is no use removing doubts one by one. If we clear one doubt, another doubt will arise, and there will be no end of doubts. But if by seeking the doubter is found to be really non-existent, then all doubts will cease. Ramana Rishi. This planet is the most high sacred spiritual birthing ground, which is specifically set up for you to realize your divine nature within its womb. Each day the sun shines. Its light on you. It's giving you warmth so you can relax, smile, and experience so many pleasures in this amazing body. You get to enjoy your body each day and how its five senses are always interacting with the outer world. Your physical body is the perfect cocoon for you to go inside, find your soul, sprout your spiritual wings. This universe is constantly giving life to you from the inside. Your heart beating, blood pumping, cells rejuvenating, and breath flowing are all life coursing through you. Coursing through you. Life is loving you from the inside and the outside. And these two worlds are merged together in a matrix of highly intelligent energy. At the deepest level, life is the most deeply eternal loving teacher there is. It requires no payment from you and works every day for you absolutely free of charge. It is constantly offering you free life lessons, which help your soul evolve in ways you never knew were possible. This sweet love from life is so extremely generous. It always is gifting you free sunshine, free air, free ocean water, and if you're courageous and willing, all the free food you can find on the trees, plants, and catch in the oceans. We truly live in a divine ocean of loving, intelligent energy that supports every need we all have. Even when we get upset, thrown off center, get angry, start to reject life, and push love away, life still continues to feed us, nurture us, and breathe our body for us. Life still loves us no matter how we respond to it. The sun never stops shining on you, no matter how irreverent you are with it. You really don't have to do anything but show up, fully be in this moment of your life, right here, right now, and this act of showing up is all about surrender and takes absolutely zero effort. Not everything that is faced can be changed. Nothing can be changed until it is faced. Not everything that is faced can be changed. Nothing can be changed until it is faced. One of the most enlightening meditations you can do for 24 hours a day, open yourself up to the idea that everyone is enlightened except you. Imagine and pretend that there is this huge pro-Noahic conspiracy. The universe has to wake up. Wake you up. Everybody is a vehicle for the divine, and every human is your greatest teacher in teaching. Listen to others as if God, him and herself, was speaking through them. The deeper we listen, the more we will hear the divine direction that we are needing to go today. The inner voice is already tuned in, and it will start showing you exactly how to find your way home. Imagine that we are all eagerly waiting for you to become enlightened. We have arrived, and now are patient, very excited about you becoming the great enlightening student that you were born to be. Our mission is to serve you, help you step on board the enlightenment train, because you, my friends, are the very last to arrive. It's not that you are less than anyone, nor missing anything on the inside. This enlightenment exam is just an assignment for the ego, and it will ignite some powerful insights in you, lighting up your spiritual path. The challenge to pretend that everyone is enlightened except you all day long is huge, I know. Yet take it on as an experiment for just 3 days. Explore how you and your experience of life changes. As you do this experiment, you'll notice how the quality of your listening changes with each day. One day, it may be somewhat superficial. And by day 3, you may become lost in the seeing, feeling, and touching the divine everywhere you go. What a blessing. What a deeply eternal love. Continue playing with it past day 3 if it's working for you, of course. Noticing what you feel you need to let go of and how your perception of others and yourself changes. Become more and more aware of the immediate shift in consciousness that is created the moment you choose to step into this enlightenment incubator. Pretending that everyone is enlightened except you is a gigantic task for the ego to take on. So one small word of advice for you is this. Be gentle with your teachers. Respect their teaching deeply by paying extra super close attention to what they are really saying underneath it all. Listen to what is your next step to finding freedom. Apply that, what is really going on in your life, and see what it is that you most need to learn. Ask yourself, why do these types of people trigger me, and why? Notice what they are pointing at inside you that you don't love about you. Listen to what's being said between their words, between your thoughts. Feel deeper into what's actually happening in each new moment if you want to truly be free. I find the initial experience of enlightenment is very similar to making popcorn. Hard, small, little corn kernels, ego, right, representing ego. The hard, small, little corn kernels representing ego require loads of heat, which is pressure, to be covered in oil, juicy emotions, and need a bit of stirring, uncertainty, before they surrender, pop open, and expand completely into their light, fluffy fullness. The experience of enlightenment is basically a simple, sweet science. When the corn is popped, the hard shell of the ego is no longer holding everything together on the outside, yet rather the soft, fluffy part moves towards the outer, and hard, protective parts towards the inner. When the real you comes out, there is nothing to fear or project anymore. All the outer shells drop, and you become a very soft, open, available being who is full of love and here to be enjoyed by all. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to a better understanding of ourselves, Carl Jung. Just watch your ego closely. Notice how it believes very much like one of these little kernels of popcorn. It feels small, contracted, protected, hard, and limited in its expression. It's condensed with loads of energy inside that are ready to be fully expressed given the right heated conditions. When our juicy emotions, oil, are added on top, nothing happens unless there is some real heat underneath. As we start feeling into the heated situations we are currently facing in our life around money, sex, relationships, love, work, health, etc., the heart turns on. By feeling our feelings fully, deeply, and thoroughly, our energy builds, making the heat even hotter. Eventually, we burst open, liberating ourselves from that tightly contracted, hardened ego self. Life is extremely intelligent. It knows exactly how and where to add a little extra heat to your life. The popcorn pops on its own accord when the heat reaches the critical point of no return. When the tight protective case around the ego breaks, the lightness of our being expands through. When your shell cracks and you begin to taste enlightenment and live beyond your ego, the heat of life will come whether you want it to or not. You cannot avoid it. It shows up in many mysterious ways and a large variety of forms. It may show up as pressure we create within ourselves from expectations, assumptions, and commitments, agreements, and promises in our relationships, marriage, with money, sex, work, and health. It may also show up from a lack of pressure we place on ourselves, meaning if we are too lazy, living in denial and ignoring our desires, wants, and needs, we will feel depressed, and this external heat feeling will come from life for us to do something different and make an external change. It's not that enlightenment is only just some light, fluffy experience. The ego-popping phenomenon and the initial introduction to it. Real everyday enlightenment is living life in a very grounded, real, and always present way that is continually integrating our dark, deep, wounded parts. It's as if the corn kernel gets popped once, then realizes there's another layer of lightness and tightness and contraction inside, and then gets repopped again and again, repeating thousands of times every day. You are neither consciousness nor its content. You are the timeless source, the supreme reality. Trust that, Nisargadatta. The popcorn ego is a contracted state because it's busy holding too tightly onto your beliefs, fears, control, and the need to be right. When we relax, letting the half or the heat of life come into expand our minds and hearts in a loving, natural way, the experience of getting popped open by life is quite powerful and exhilarating. Instead of running from life, we face it, embrace and move into and through it. There's no more resistance to the hottest heat, which is all the things we tend to fear and avoid. We choose instead to welcome these challenges as opportunities to manifest a bigger, juicier life. We get out of this way and let life and its amazingness come truly in. See this spiritual being inside you who is all-powerful, deeply eternal loving, free from all doubt, insecurity, and fear. We were all born to enjoy this grand, mysterious, and profound matrix of life. We were brought here to discover a realm of heaven within ourselves. And this is done by having mastery over the mind. It may take you a few days, weeks, or years to master this. Yet you have support now. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted. And I'm sure that we all are. And the first thing that we care to do is relax these bodies we're in. Because we're not the body. We are not the name. We are not the personality, the character, the status. We're the God within it. And our bodies are magnificent, and they constantly are absorbing worry, stress, fear, anxiety, all of it. And they store it, hence stress. Now, a lot of us don't know that we store it. But we do. That's why things end up breaking with the body. So how do we relax, truly relax the body? The breath. The breath is divine positive energy. we, the gods, enter these bodies. We power them up to a certain extent. All the other gods, inhabiting all other physical bodies, assist. Now the lungs come on, everything goes online. And what does the breath do? If you focus on the breath, it calms you, eases you, relaxes you, strengthens you, focuses you. So when you'll know it when you focus on the breath, you're in the now. And you'll know what that feeling is because you'll feel yourself drop into the heart. The heart-mind, right where the heart is, the heart-mind. You'll know the difference. You'll feel it. If you haven't yet, you will. And you still the ego mind and subconscious mind. What that means is you don't interact with it. You're in the now, only the moment to moment, breath to breath. And the mind chatter that we all have, all of us have it 24/7. And think about this, over 60,000 thoughts each of us send out to the universe. Doesn't mean we know all those thoughts, but we send them 24/7. In addition to that, we've got tens of millions to billions of thoughts fly by like clouds in the sky. They're everyone else's throughout the ages. They're programs. But see, all of that is wiped out. The ego mind cannot inhabit the now. It doesn't exist in the now. So it does everything it can to cause us to stay out of the now. And how does it do that? It does that by out there. It does it by out there. That's exactly how it keeps us in pain and suffering. We focus on the external, physical, material world. That's what we focus on. And we're distracted. And we're such in a habit of doing it that it just feels regular to us. It doesn't feel out of the ordinary. It feels as if, well, this is what we're supposed to do. People say, well, aren't there other ways to get out of the now, to get out of that, to get into the now? No, there isn't. Only the breath can move us into the now. Now, practicing it helps us immensely. As you practice being in the now through the breath, what happens? If someone were to come to you and ask you, for instance, right? You're in the now. You're focused on your breath. What happens? Okay, so they ask you, which is pretty normal conversation. What do you got planned tomorrow? What are you going to do tomorrow? Right? And you won't be able to answer that. And you're not playing games or anything. You just won't be able to answer it. Because you're only in the now. You imagine that this entire civilization finally came to the realization that the only place is the now? The only true existence is the now. And it doesn't mean that you disconnect from everything at all. It's just that you are not entertaining the external reality, the external physical material world. You're in within yourself. You're experiencing interaction with the God that you are. But it's very difficult for people to stay in the now because of all those thoughts, right? All those distractions. This is when you want to be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself 24/7, infinity and beyond, and to be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest, deepest, purest of the purest, purest. Eternal gratitude. No matter what's going on around you, stay in gratitude. It is absolutely paramount. The more you're in gratitude, the more things flow to you, not away from you. The more you're in gratitude, the more flows to you. You're not staying in gratitude because you want something. You're staying in gratitude because it's all there is. Everything else is an illusion. The now is all we have. It's all we've ever had. So when you're in the now, and the body is relaxed, and you're in the heart-mind, it doesn't mean we won't float away into some of these thoughts, because we do. It isn't a biggie. It's not a negative. But to know that we do that is biggie. Because to know is to be half the way there. So you say, well, I wandered off into this thought. I really don't know if it's my thought, but I will focus on my breath and I'll be in the now 3,000% of the time, which is every single time. Now look at the difference for yourself, right? Now it's choice. Only you make the choices. No one else makes them for you. So you can stay in the future or the past. Past, future, future, past, future, past, future. You stay there. That's the distraction. And live that life. That's your choice. Worry, stress, fear, anxiety, hurriedness, all of that stuff. Or you can choose to go within, stay within, and focus on the now through the breath, which would end pain and suffering, which would end worry, stress, fear, anxiety, hatred, anger. Would end it. Wouldn't exist. That's a choice that this civilization makes. You either do or you don't. Do you see any reason why any of us would choose the latter instead of the now? To continually follow external reality in this physical material world as if it is our leader? Now you look in that body, because you're not the body and you know that. And you're consciously aware, which means that you know that you're of and from the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, and purest of the purest purest, eternal love. You know this through your heart, through your heart mind. When you look at that body and you say, what are these lights running through it from the tailbone to the top of the head? Each one vibrantly colored, each one a different color, not like the colors on this planet, but far, far beyond. And what are they? Well, on this planet they're called chakras, which the definition of chakra is wheel. These are wheels of light. They're spirit etheric energy. We are spirit etheric energy, omnipotently powerful. We flow through these wheels of light. They're connected to every single function of this body, both emotional and physical. The organs, the blood flow, all the way down to the quantum core. Anger, hatred, fear, frustration, love, peace, kindness, joy, all of it. So we end up discovering, right, by taking the journey within, decide for ourselves to do so, that we are the power of healing. That eventually the day will come where we'll be able to heal these bodies in the blink of the eye. Now picture yourself standing in front of three paths. You're in the center one, which is the now. Okay? One on the left is the past, one on the right is future. And they all look pretty much alike. You know, the one you're standing in front of, and you look at all of them, and you have the trees forming the canopies on them, and the trees are golden shimmering, the leaves, the bark, the branches, everything. You look at the path itself, it is a brilliant, vibrant, emerald green flaming grass. It appears to be grass. But you do notice one thing. You notice one thing. That the one on the left, past, is really worn. And the one on the right, the future, is really worn. But the one you're standing on looks brand new. Now, we all go into the past. Because we reminisce. We have nostalgia. You know, a lot of people keep things because of memories of family members and events and that type of thing. Right? So sometimes we will go into our private library or subconscious mind, which copies everything, by the way. It's to be aware of that. It copies everything. Everything the ego mind conjures up, it copies. Anything and everything around it, it copies. Stores it in this massive library. And we all have this library. Sometimes we'll go in, open the door, turn on the light, and we'll look for walls, but we won't find them because it's so massively large. And we look for the ceiling. There's no ceiling because it's so large. It seems like it's infinity and beyond. We see all these shelves and cubicles and storage areas, and it's just packed. But we'll get a couple of books and some movies and some pictures, and we'll go into easy chair, and we'll watch some of the movies, read some of the books, and look at some of the pictures. And then we'll run and have a good time. And we can also use it as a reference library. You say, you know, when I did this, it didn't work right. So I'm not going to do this again. Or this was such a fun trip. Or I really enjoyed this. I really had a good time. I wouldn't mind doing that again. But we will stay there for that period of time, enjoy it. And then we will take all the movies and books and the pictures and we'll put them back on the shelves. We'll turn off the light, we'll shut the door, and we'll move forward in life, in this life, and then we'll visit it on occasion. But some of us, and I don't believe it's consciously, I believe it's unconscious, that some of us will stay there so long that we end up bringing that past into a future that doesn't exist, because remember, we create the future in the now. Create that future from that past and relive that past in that future. That's why a lot of people will say, no matter what we do, we always seem to end up here. Now, the future, we all get hurried at times, in a hurry, rushing, pushing, forcing things, trying to get things faster, moving faster, trying to get all these things faster to delivered to you. So you go into the future and you ask questions. If the questions that you're asking aren't answered, because obviously you're looking in the material physical world, they won't be answered. They'll only be answered from within. So we get frustrated sometimes, so we seek external authority. Tarot card readers, psychics, astrologers, crystal readers, all kinds of people. And, you know, we look to them to give us a heads up. What do you see happening for me in the next 3 months? Where am I going? What are your questions? Do they ask 3 questions? And then you do the cards or whatever reading you're using, and then you give them input, information. Now, some of us will just go, okay, not a big deal, and just pass by. But others of us take it to heart, and as soon as we believe it, we create it. And sometimes we acknowledge it because something happens that's very familiar. It jogs your memory that you had requested, and you were told it would happen. And boom, it happens. Wow, they were really on target. They were really right. Point is that you manifested it through your own power. To know oneself is to know everyone and everything. To know oneself deep within. Now we know that we enter these bodies as gods. We power them up in a way. Right? We're heaven on earth, the body earth, the God heaven. Heaven is not a place. Heaven is you. Heaven, the place, is a matrix trap. So we know that when we take a step on this planet, being consciously aware, we create paradise. Every step we take, we create paradise literally. Not only that, we shine our light. 24/7 infinity beyond. And what is our light? Well, the light emanates from the gods that we are, the pure love that we're made of. Highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So we can focus our light any direction we choose. I mean, 360 degrees, it could be blasting at every. You can walk through a group of people you sense, hey, you know, they don't seem to be too happy. Blast them with your light. Now, of course, we have over 8 billion humanoids on this planet being experiencing the physical form, glowing with their God love light energy, and all of the other gods inhabiting all the other physical forms. So this planet glows. Take a starship out far enough so it looks about the size of a basketball, and you notice it glows. Not only that, you look at all the lights in this universe around it, and they pale in comparison. It's like a lit candle in a dark room. You get 1 billion suns, put them all together, 1 trillion suns, and this planet would outbright them by far. So a God planet paradise that glows, free of lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, from pure evil, from the dark black goop. And we're the ones that are doing it. All those who are somewhat awake on this planet. Now, we know that parts of us, the gods that we are stone cold asleep. They're not going to wake up in 2 seconds. We deeply love them just as much as we deeply love those parts of ourselves, the gods that we are, that are awake to a certain extent. Now, this is all the light energy beings and all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It's the archangels, the cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, ascended masters, Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Christ, El Morya, Medentia, Peltoth, Yahweh, Yeshua. All the inhabitants of inner earth, hollow earth, Agartha, and beneath earth. All of our loved ones who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes we have inhabited. All the galactic celestials. Off-worlders. Now the archangels, their civilization have vibrated at different frequencies than we do. It doesn't change anything that the gods within their bodies and the gods within our bodies are one. Now, they know that we have amnesia. So they do everything they can, year after year, thousands and thousands of years, to help us remind ourselves of who and what we are. Of course, they deliver a lot of different messages, and they meet with us. Not all the time are we aware that it's an angel that we're interacting with, but sometimes we do. And it's usually after the fact we say to ourselves, isn't it absolutely magna, glorious, stupendous, spectacular to be alive in these bodies? And we don't have a reference point, so it's a rediscovery. But you begin to understand, some do, that you're not the body, you're the God. You're the ball of light, omnipotently powerful, pure consciousness, pure power, pure God. Now, think about this. We don't eat. When we're in God form, we don't eat. We don't sleep. We don't laugh. We don't cry. We don't make love. We don't kiss. We don't hold hands. We don't do any of the things we do in these bodies. And because we don't have a reference point, we take it for granted. And these bodies aren't easy to get. So it's a rediscovery of being deeply grateful 24/7, infinity and beyond, no matter what goes on outside of you. And to be in deep gratitude every single moment you can. No matter what's happening, it shifts everything by being in gratitude. A total attitude of gratitude 24/7, infinity and beyond. It is paramount. That with staying in the now is unprecedented. Now, they can surround any one of us at any one time in the tens of thousands, tens of millions, and beyond. Reason is because they can hold a large number in a small area due to their vibrational frequency. And if you wanted to, ask. And they will, and you'll be in bliss. Now, the Ascended Masters, they have ascended into physical form. They have mastered physical form. They have ascended out of physical form. They hold pure consciousness, God form. We have ascended into physical form. We are in the process of mastering physical form. We are creating our experiences to perfect our creations. Now, light energy beings. With these eyes that we have with these bodies, we see 1% of what is. And there are shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations, and the different light spectrums that are there. We just don't see them. But there is a group, small group that we're familiar with, that these bodies we're in are highly dependent on a part of this group. Fairies, the sprites, the elves, the gnomes, the dwarves, the trees, the trolls, the elementals, the magics, earth, air, water, fire, ether, wood, the mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur. Now ask your body, though, the body you're in, can it sustain you without air, without water, without fire, without earth, without wood, without ether? And the answer is no, it can't. We would be forced out of these bodies prematurely. We'd have to leave them. Without air, there's no oxygen. Without any oxygen, the body will cease. It's just like if you were to look at a tree, just a simple tree. Now, if that tree did not get water, right, and couldn't get carbon dioxide, what would happen to the tree? It would cease. The God within it would have to leave. So these bodies are very dependent on the elementals. Now, over 1,000 species of civilizations travel through the solar system every day. Remember, this solar system contains over 160 planets. Trillions throughout the universes every day. Now, we're familiar with a small group, Pleiadians, Sirians, Arcturians, Andromedans, felines, Zeta Reticuli, Anunnaki, Nords, Greys, Draco, Reptilian, Golden Pyramid, Avian. This particular group has been assisting us in our evolution, in our enlightenment, in our ascension, freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. Now, we're all one. It doesn't matter how you perceive in the body that, 1,000 billion light years is a long way away. How can we be one? We're all part of the one. We flow with the one. This is a self-discovery. It's just part of the journey within. And we're focused on this planet because we desire and want it to be pure and clean from all lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies, and the black goop, and the pure evil, all of it. And our numbers are in the Googleplex. This Googleplex fills this universe with not even 1 square inch of sacred space to spare. And there's trillions of Googleplexes from trillions of universes. So those of us who are consciously aware, to a certain extent, focus our God Force Love Light energy on the cleansing of this planet, on it, in it, above it, and below it. And we're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, prosperity, abundance. And we're all one. And we're all God. And we're all love. And our God Force Love Light energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. And it continues to intensify, grow, and expand. We immediately form a massive circle of light, of white fire light, around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, Arya, and this now. Now, this white fire light emanates from the gods that we are within the body, the pure love that we are made of, the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. And it's saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet, on it, in it, above, and below. Now, this light is so bright that it grays out the darkness of sacred space. It would take 1 trillion suns to even come close to it. And even then, they wouldn't come close to it. So we begin to ascend above the planet. We're immediately met with this massive ocean of glitter. It isn't like an ocean of glitter that we would depict on this planet, but we use things to discover for ourselves through our heart minds on how near we can come to describing it. Like a grand finale fireworks display, a grand finale laser light show display, the ballroom globe with the perfectly etched mirrors that reflect all light, flood the room with light that shined upon it. And all of these are 1 trillion times more intense and 1 trillion times larger. So if we combine them all in one massive crescendo, then we would be near to the description of the ocean of glitter. Now, we look at the reflective points in the ocean of glitter, and they're everywhere. And we notice these little tiny microscopic mirrors, perfectly etched. We enter them. And we discover that all of us are learning and teaching, teaching and learning, no matter what physical form that we're inhabiting, to learn and to experience what it's like to be that physical form. You learn from trees, birds, bees, ants, spiders. You can learn from everything. Everything is life. If it has molecules, molecules move, right? They have their own consciousness, right down to the quantum particles. So it may not, as you view it, to be alive, but it is in its own way. Cows, cats, dogs, bug in the rug, fly on the wall, birds in the sky. I mean, it's endless. And when you discover things by the journey within, you'll come across these discoveries. And when you look at something and you say, because we've done this, you may not remember, but there's been times you say, I wonder what it would be like to be that. And you focus on your breath. You move into the now. And you just listen. And your eyes are closed. And for a brief moment, you will know what it's like to be whatever it is you said, I wonder what it would be like to be that. No different than the trees. Do the trees teach us? Absolutely. In a massive windstorm, the oak tree does not bend, it will break, right? But the bamboo will bend to the wind. So it won't break. The trees teach us. Sometimes we bend to the wind. Okay? If we stay steadfast, stubborn, and straight, we will break from the wind. These things teach us all the time. We're immediately met by the emerald green flaming healing light of Archangel Raphael. This is a column of light that we, the gods, within these bodies created to remind us all that we are the power of healing. We are then met with the violet, blue, purple flaming light, the column of light. We, the gods that we are within these bodies, created this to remind us all of our omnipotent power, strength, and resolve of Archangel Michael. We are then met with the white fire. This is a column of light that we created to remind us all that from head to toe, inside and out, we are protected with a white fire armor. Nothing like the armor on this planet, way beyond. This white fire armor emanates from the God source of which each and every one of us are in these bodies. It is pure, deep, eternal love. It is the highest of the highest high vibrational frequencies. So it can't be penetrated, disintegrated or anything. All lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies will not come near us at this high level of vibrational frequency because they'll vaporize. They stay away. So we don't have demon possessions, attachments, and all sorts of different things happening. But only you have the power. If you decide to lower your vibrational frequency, whether consciously or unconsciously, low enough, through hatred, greed, anger, fear, pressure, hurriedness, envy, revenge, you will lower your vibrational frequency low enough, create a breach in your white fire armor, enough so to allow lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies come flooding in. Now, if you do decide to do this, you will open yourself up to possibilities of demon possession, attachments, and all kinds of things. But you're also met with a double column of light. We created this double column of light to remind us all that the first part of the column of light is the purple transmuting flame. We created this, the gods that are, to remind us all that we can bring in the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify. We can literally transmute all of the lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies into neutral light substance, sending them to pure consciousness, where they are no more. We then have the violet ray, which is the second part of the column of light that we can bring in, remind us all. We can bring that in right behind the purple transmuting flame. We can cleanse and purify the area where these lower dark matter, survival matter frequencies were, sealing the breach in our white fire armor, restoring our vibrational harmony to the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love, gratitude, and peace. We are then met with the golden light, pink light. This is a column of light that the gods that we are within these bodies created to remind us all that we are the sun, the sunlight, the rain, the rainbow. We are the sun sets and the sun rises. We are the oceans, the rivers, the lakes, the streams, the mountains, the trees, the forests, the soils, the sky, the clouds. We're everything. We're everything. We're nothing. Everything is us. Always has been, always will be, ever, beyond, and forever. So the next time that you do see sunset, sunrise, rainbow, starlit night sky, mountain view, ocean view, and we will all say, we see these and we say, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. And it is beautiful because it's you, the God within that body. And to finally come to the full realization with the journey, choosing to have the journey within, take the journey within the body, not outside, you'll discover this. It's not a joke. It's not made up. That is the God that I am. Through the heart mind, not the head, not the ego mind. But that is the God that I am. That rainbow, that's the God that I am. That sunset, that sunrise, that's the God that I am. We continue to ascend above the planet. Some of us who are carrying physical form decide to step out of physical form and hover effortlessly above it. And the reason we do this is because it's really fun, and we can. We are met by a massive crystalline light tower. We created this tower. It's larger than the solar system and beyond. Now we discover that in the center of the column, there's this massive oblong sphere. In the center of the sphere is this massive golden white ball of light. It in turn is surrounded by rings of multicolored light that seem to go to infinity and beyond. Now we discover that the golden white ball of light is the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest eternal love. Then we're met with gratitude, well-being, gentleness, kindness, generosity, and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence, and massive prosperity, and massive abundance. And then we discover that all of this has created this massive crystal white, super bright, reflecting, sparkling cloud. And it's absorbed through our heart minds, and it is like a warm embrace that never ends. And all of this is a reflection of the gods that we are within these bodies. Now, at the top of this column, we designed it so the golden ocean can come cascading down 360 degrees, 24/7, infinity and beyond, like it's doing right now. And what is it? It is pure, deep, eternal love, saturating, permeating, and flooding this planet. All life, the highest supreme value in the universe. Now, we are drops of this golden ocean. We also hold the essence of this golden ocean. Golden ocean is the drops are the golden ocean. The only illusion is separation. We see our meditative sphere at set center circle. We all created this sphere over 4 years ago. It holds almost 1,900 of our meditations in perpetual motion. Hundreds of millions of us on and off world, consciously aware to a certain extent, flooding, saturating, and permeating this planet with the highest of the highest high, the deepest of the deepest deepest, and the purest of the purest purest, eternal love. There's nowhere to hide or run. And you can look at this because these meditations intensify, grow, and expand continuously. This meditative sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. It is omnipotently powerful. So you look at the planet, right? Through your heart, mind's motion picture, you see this goop leaving the planet everywhere. And you also notice that in the atmosphere that you're surrounded with, there's this shimmering, you can see through it, right? But it is a shimmering, brilliant white pink golden light. And it's everywhere. And you watch as this black goop, blackest of the blackest black, both the AI and all the pure evil, evaporating from the planet. And you watch as it goes up. And it disintegrates as it continues to ascend. And not only that, you look at the sky and you see this brilliant white, pink, golden tinged light. You don't see a blue sky. And you watch as this goop, this black, dark matter, disintegrates as it goes through this beautiful translucent field of golden white, pink light. And then it goes up into the actual canopy of the sky of the brilliant white, golden, pink light, and it vanishes. It's like poof. Not even quantum particles are seen. And it is taken into the pure consciousness, and it is repurposed so it does not exist. It is brought into the love light energy, and it is literally dismissed, vaporized. You can watch this anytime, plug into it anytime. In the now, through the breath, and the heart-mind. Whatever suffering is occurring in your life, remember that it's simply there because you keep dwelling on it. Stop entertaining these thoughts. Realize that you are the master who is always manifesting your experience of reality. Take 20 minutes sometime today and write down and release everything you think is wrong with your life. And as you write it, feel it releasing from your system. And proclaim that the opposite thought is now true. Get it out of your system so you can stop thinking about it. Once you stop focusing on what's wrong and start thinking about what is right, your suffering will end. Throughout today, practice letting go of trying to fix yourself or figure out what's wrong, and focus only on what's right with it. Practice formulating thoughts that are constructive rather than destructive today. Think only about what inspires you, excites you, and makes you happy. Your thoughts happen for you, not to you. Spend your entire day focusing on what an amazing and magnificent life you have. I'll join you in the meditation and return to close us out. Take an easy breath in, slowly, through the nose, and an easy breath out, slowly, through the mouth. Be still. There is no more need to be stuck. The same old stagnant patterns of your mind are a delusion. You are not stuck anywhere. So wake up. You are a divine being of God. Make the commitment to ignore that old path of lacking money, love, empowerment, and freedom. Don't you already feel hopeless and pathetic enough? Also for today, practice saying yes to the experience of having access to love, joy, and total freedom. Choose to feel free in your work or lack of work. Choose to feel free in your amazing relationships or your lack of amazing relationships. Choose to feel free in your health or your lack of health. Commit yourself to feeling free. You are free to feel, think, imagine, believe anything you want. Just claim it today. This is your freedom. You are free to say out loud right now, I am the God force, powerful, alive, and free. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning. And we will return here Wednesday, May 4th, 2022, 3 p.m. Eastern to continue our Global Guided Meditation call, and 9 p.m. Eastern to continue our Time for Change call.